I really missed Kai, my husband, but as I got into it, I realized that this was not going to be, in fact, my new favorite book. Had the actual male in here be like a butthole. Why is this thing so like loud? And you know what April 1st is. It's April Fool's Day, unfortunately. I love fake dating, even though there's no comfort in this book because I'm screaming at a wall. I love Kenji so much. He is literally, I fear, another one of my spirit animals. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, we are going to be discussing all of the books that I read in April. So starting out with some statistics, I read 6 books. I read 2 dystopian, 3 romances, and 1 fantasy. I read a total of 2,005 pages, and my average star rating was a 3.6. So let's just jump right in with the first book. So the first book that I read in April was Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I was honestly really scared going into this book because I heard a lot of people saying different things about it. I started it a little while ago, like when it first came out, and I read like the first chapter, and I was like intrigued, but I didn't really know if I wanted to like genuinely pick it up and read it. So I put it down, but obviously I picked it back up again, and I'm kind of glad that I did. I mean, I definitely think that it is a good start like for Fearless. But I don't know, this book really didn't like give me anything. It was genuinely just a cat and mouse chase the entire time. And there was also a point, if you saw my reading books with the same title as songs, if you saw that video, you know that there's a scene in this book that came directly from Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. So it kind of threw me off a little bit. I wasn't particularly fond of the correlations between the two, as they were literally the exact same scene. But overall, the book was good. I enjoyed reading it. When I read it, I was having fun. I really missed Kai, my husband. So yeah, I'm glad that I read it though, and I think it's a good setup for Fearless, which I'm really scared for. So yeah, I think that's really all I have to say about Reckless. I'm gonna give this a 3.5. I really enjoyed reading it. Like as I was reading it, there were things that like just kept repeating that I wasn't loving, and also, you know, the scene. But other than that, it was fine. I liked it. Nothing crazy, honestly, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm rating it a 3.5. Now for the next book. I also read this book in the reading books with the same title as song names video. And it's going to be Call It What You Want by Alyssa DeGrotis. I had kind of a clue what this book was about. I knew that it was in New York, so I automatically thought that I was gonna love it. And if you're a Swiftie or you know of Taylor Swift, you know that Call It What You Want is a Taylor Swift song. So immediately I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this book. This is gonna be my new favorite book because it is so Taylor Swift coded. But as I got into it, I realized that this was not going to be, in fact, my new favorite book. I wasn't hating it, honestly. The first few chapters, I was enjoying reading it, but I felt like we were going really fast, especially because the two characters literally just met and they were like making out a few pages later, and I was like really concerned. So I didn't really know where it was gonna go. And then as the book progressed, I was not liking it. The book is about a girl and her name is Sloane, and she is a senior in college, and she runs into this guy on a bus that she didn't realize she lived in the same like apartment building as. So they get to talking, and then, you know, they hook up, whatever. And then their relationship never becomes an actual relationship. The entire book is basically them trying to figure out what they are. It's like a situationship. They're not dating, but they're not dating. The ending really did not do anything for me. I was very disappointed. Honestly, the book kind of felt like there was like no point to it, honestly. I was honestly rooting for a different guy throughout the entire book. She wrote him like the best book boyfriend, and then had the actual male in here be like a butthole. I was literally rooting for the wrong male character in here. I guess that's it. That's like really all I have to say. I really didn't enjoy it. There wasn't much to it. I didn't love it, but I'm still rating it a 2.5 because I'm kind. Then I read one of my, I think, new favorite books, which I definitely was not expecting whatsoever. I read Juniper Hill by Devney Perry, and I went into this book completely blind, didn't know anything about it. I had read Indigo Ridge a little while ago, like a few months ago, and I really enjoyed the first book. I think I rated it like a 3.5, maybe a 3.75, and I enjoyed it. But I wasn't really intrigued to go on to the rest of the series, you know? I didn't know really what I was expecting. So I had finished Call It What You Want, and I was like, I really don't know what to read right now. Like, I have no clue. So I was just scrolling on Kindle Unlimited, and then I found Juniper Hill. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should pick it up, considering I haven't picked up the rest of the series yet. Maybe I should, you know, like, get more into it, see how it goes. And it wound up being one of my favorites this month. Actually, I think this is my favorite of the month. Juniper Hill is about a girl, and her name is Memphis. She previously lived in New York City, I'm pretty sure, and she road tripped all the way to Montana with her baby boy. So when she gets to Montana, you know, she needs a place to stay, she needs a place to work, to get money, and to provide for her child, you know? So she talks to Eloise Eden, who is one of the siblings in the Eden family, and the male main character is an Eden. So she talks to Eloise, and she finds a job at Eloise's hotel, and she doesn't have a place to stay, so Eloise tells her that she can stay at her brother Knox's house. So Memphis and her little baby boy go to Knox's house, and he basically provides them like a little, what do they call it? A loft. It's like a little loft above his garage. So it's like kind of still in the house, I'm pretty sure, but it's just like a sectioned off area. This is gonna be important in a second. You'll know why I'm saying this. So Knox and Memphis and Drake, which is the baby's name, that was the only thing that threw me off in this book. I don't know why, just the baby named Drake. Anyway, so they're all living in the house together, and Knox is like he doesn't wanna. You know, this is like his place, his sanctuary. And this random stranger from New York with a crying loud baby is coming over and invading his space. He has no clue who this woman is. So one night, Memphis's baby, Drake, is crying nonstop and sobbing and won't shut up, basically. So Knox, I guess, walks over to her part of the house, and he's like, what's going on? Why is this thing so, like, loud, you know? And she's like, I'm sorry, like, I'll try and do something. And that's how everything begins. I was not expecting this book to be as good as it was. I loved the characters. Memphis, I relate to literally so much. Like, me and her, we're tight. Knox is amazing. I love him so much. He's great. He grew on me throughout the book. Like, I was kind of iffy on him at first, but then once we got through the book, I was like, okay. I love the snippets of the other Eden siblings that we got in this book, so I'm super excited to read more about them. Overall, I literally loved this book. I had the 5-star feeling some of the book, but not all of it, so I won't be rating it 5 stars, but I will be rating it a 4.75. This was so good. I highly recommend this entire series. The first one was so good. The second one, great, amazing. I also want to say that there is like some like dark aspects to these books, and I wouldn't say dark as in like a dark romance type aspect. It's more of like there's something hidden, I guess, or you know, like the first book was a murder mystery, but it was like a romance book, just a subplot of murder mystery, whereas this one, there was like a hidden thing about Memphis that you kind of found out later in the book. So yeah, that was Juniper Hill, rating it a 4.75. It was really good and I really enjoyed it. Next, I read Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This is the last book, unfortunately, in the Chestnut Spring series. I hope it's not the last. It's the last that is out right now. I'm patiently waiting for Harvey's book. You know what I'm really mad about? Miss Elsie Silver tricked us, and she announced a Harvey book on April 1st. And you know what April 1st is. It's April Fool's Day, unfortunately. So I literally was in the lunchroom, and I literally screamed at that just to realize it was fake. So I was really sad. But anyway, I read Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This was a good book. I really enjoyed reading about Beau. He was my favorite from the jump. He was my favorite Eaton boy. From the first book, I knew that he was going to be my favorite, and he has stayed my favorite throughout the series. Beau is a military hero, I guess you could say, and Bailey is a bartender. She works at the bar that is like in Chestnut Springs that like everybody goes to, so she's like a well-known bartender. So Beau finds himself in Bailey's bar for a little while and then finds out that she's been working the bar all alone for like a few hours at night, and he's like, that's not very safe. So he winds up staying at her bar with her while she's closing for all these different days. Bailey's family has like a bad reputation, so everybody sees Bailey as the type of person that her family and her brothers are, who are like not good people whatsoever. So she automatically has like a bad reputation in the town, and Beau has a good reputation because he was a military hero. So they decide to marry each other, get engaged, and it will benefit both of them. So Beau's family will stay off of his back about, you know, being okay and like talking to people and whatever. And Bailey's reputation will go up because she is with Beau. I love fake dating. It is one of my favorite tropes ever. I don't know why, I just love it so much. And I didn't realize that this was fake dating until we got to that point in the book. So I was so excited when I found this out, and this just made me love the book even more. I was also reading this during the 24-hour readathon, and I was kind of getting a little bit bored. I don't know if I was bored because of the book or I was bored because of the 24-hour readathon. I couldn't tell you, but right now my rating is a 4.25. It will most likely go up once, you know, I read more books and I like start to think about this more and like long for Beau again. But right now I think we're gonna keep it at a 4.25. I really loved this book. The whole series I think is a 5-star series for me. I mean, Heartless is like still one of my favorite books like in the entire world. And I think if we're, you know, ranking the books in the series, I think Heartless would come first and Hopeless would be next because, you know, it was really good and I love Beau. I don't know, I guess Flawless would be next, then Reckless, then Powerless, I would assume. So yeah, that was Hopeless, 4.25. It was great. You need to read the series if you haven't already. All of them take place in like the countryside, like in the country setting, but only I think 2 or 3, I think 3 are like country men, like bull riding, that type of stuff. But this one and Powerless, he is obviously military, like I said, and Jasper is ice hockey. But again, they all live like in the country, so it's still considered, they're all like country romances. Okay, next we have Restore Me by Tahira Mafi. I read this book in like 4 days. To be fair, I did use the audiobook, but audiobooks count in my book. I honestly didn't tab this as much as I wanted to. I think I was just flying through it because it was like really intriguing and I was really liking it, that I really didn't like think much about the tabs. I really liked this book. I really can't say much about it considering this is like the 4th in the Shatter Me series. So, you know, if I say something, I'm probably gonna spoil it because all of this is way too far into the series. But yeah, this is Juliet and another character's POV in this one. It switches back and forth, which I really enjoyed because I'm pretty sure the other books only had Juliet's POV, so I really loved having 2 in here. We learned a lot from this book, like a lot. I feel like there was not as much like action going on, but more of us learning about like a whole bunch of stuff. So that being said, there really wasn't much action, like I said, so it was kind of boring at parts. I didn't love it at parts. I'm also really, really sad at just this whole book because something happened and now, I mean, I know it's gonna be resolved, but like, I'm just so sad thinking about it right now. Anyway, the ending was so completely shocking. I would have never guessed any of it. There's like 2 completely shocking parts at the end of this book. Both of them was not expecting whatsoever. It was genuinely insane, and I'm so excited to pick up the next one. I'm rating Restore Me a 4.25. I really love this series, and I was thinking after I read, I think, Ignite Me, and I picked up another book, I was like automatically so sad. I was like, I really want to be back in Shatter Me right now. And so yeah, this feels literally like home. I love this series so much. It is like, I want to say like a comfort read, even though there is no comfort in this book because I'm screaming at a wall while reading this book. So yeah, 4.25 for Restore Me. And then after Restore Me came a little novella, which I read next, and that is Shadow Me. Shadow Me is in the Find Me novella collection, if that makes sense. So Shadow Me is the first novella here, this side. And then you read Defy Me, and then you read this novella. So I read Shadow Me, and it was in Kenji's POV, which I was really, really excited about because I love Kenji so much. He is literally, I fear, another one of my spirit animals. The only like different thing that we got in this book was like a little bit of information about something, which I'm really excited to learn more about. But everything else was basically what had happened at the end of Restore Me, just in Kenji's POV. So there wasn't anything like crazy, like nothing that we really learned until towards the end of the novella, which, like I said, I'm really excited to read more about, because obviously in Juliet's point of view, we didn't get what Kenji was talking about with other people. So while Kenji was talking to other people, we got his point of view, we got all the information that he was getting, so now we know stuff. So I'm really excited to pick up the next book. Shadow Me, I'm rating it 2.5 stars. We basically just got a recap of everything that happened in the end of Restore Me. Other than that, nothing too crazy, rating it a 2.5, but I really loved reading from Kenji's POV. So I think that is the end of this video. Those are all the books that I read in April. As you can see, I think I am out of my reading slump, considering I read 3 books in March and doubled that in April. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!